Grateful to see everyone. We have another opportunity. We are so grateful that everyone has come out, even though it's raining. As you all know, the council decided that we want to move council meeting around every 3 months, once a quarter in the district. So this is council member of the Green District, and so we are here at the Central Activity Center, and we certainly appreciate you all coming out and joining us. So with that, I am calling the meeting to order. I'd like to call on Reverend Tracy Belt of Providence Missionary Baptist Church to come lead us with invocation. If we can stand and remain standing, and Councilmember Green, since this is her district, will lead us with the pledge.
Good evening, Mayor Lowe, councilmen and women, and residents of Phenix City. Let's go into prayer. Gracious and eternal God, we gather here today, Father God, giving you all the praise and glory. We thank you for the meeting that is here this evening, Father God, that we come with a share, come and go for the residents of Phenix City, Alabama. We ask that you give clarity of mind, compassion of heart, and the strength of character that is required to serve with integrity, Father. We thank you, God. Grant the council with wisdom to listen deeply to one another, to hear the voices of the people that they represent. May their deliberations be guided by fairness, transparency, and a vision to seek common good. Help them to look beyond the immediate challenges and work towards a future that is inclusive, safe, prosperous, and for every member of this community. And in the moment of disagreement, may there be a mutual respect. In the moment of decision, may there be a mutual courage for someone to stand and speak boldly. Father God, we thank you. May the works that is accomplished in this meeting, in this chamber, be served with the best interests for the residents of Phenix City, Alabama, to foster a spirit of unity as we stand before you. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Belt. Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilmember Green, for the pledge. We certainly appreciate that. Proceeded on at this time, Council, on the presentation and proclamation. We do have a proclamation recognizing Pat White for all of her service that she's done. I know when I was on the Housing Authority Board, she was there and kind of helped raise me there. So with that, at this time, I'd like to call upon our clerk for the reading of this proclamation. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas Pat White graduated from Central High School as a member of the class of 1975, and whereas at age 17, Pat White began her service with the Ladonia Volunteer Fire Department, where a colleague inspired her to pursue pyrotechnics, launching a remarkable 50-year career with Pyrotechnico and a 30-year tradition of presenting fireworks throughout the bi-city community of Phenix City, Alabama, and Columbus, Georgia. And whereas Pat White served the Phenix City Housing Authority for an extraordinary 42 years, leaving a profound and lasting legacy through her commitment, professionalism, and unwavering dedication to the citizens of Phenix City. And whereas Pat White became the first female lane inspector for the Women's Bowling Association in the Bi-City area, entrusted with verifying lane conditions for 300 total games, Pat White further contributed to the community by coaching youth bowling at Russell Lanes for 10 years, guiding and mentoring children ages 12 and under. And whereas June 16, 2026 marks a day dedicated to celebrating Pat White's life, work, and legacy, honoring her 50 years of service in pyrotechnics, her decades of leadership within the Phenix City Housing Authority, and her enduring impact as a beacon of community excellence. Now therefore, I, Eddie N. Lowe, Mayor of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim this the 16th day of June 2026 as a day to honor the contributions and accomplishments of Pat White in Phenix City, Alabama, for her 50 years of distinguished service and her lifetime of accomplishments.
All right, Pat, come on down. we've been knowing each other for a very long time. I always say this, and you've heard it before, but she knew when I was really, really young. Even my mustache was black.
My hair was darker too.
Now, you said that. I was not going to say that. I was going to stay in my lane. She is so true. But Pat, thank you so much for what you've done. Ever since I've known you, you've always been consistent. You've always been the person you are. You never wavered. You never got panicky. So with that, that's a lot that we all can learn from that, particularly myself. So it gives me great honor on behalf of the City Council and myself to present you with this proclamation. 42 years and 50 years of services, that's a lot of days. And you have certainly helped a lot of people. So with that, we would like to present you with this proclamation and thank you so much for being a servant that you have been.
Let me take a picture.
Appreciate it. All right, and y'all be sure to watch the bridge. Would you like?
Is this your family?
Yes, one of my neighbors.
Congratulations, but I didn't know you knew how to.
My son is back there, the beard.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew how to do the pyrotechnical thing, so.
You never know what I'm into.
That could be a good thing and a bad thing.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you all. Proceeding on, council. At this time, I'd like to ask council for a motion for the approval of the regular scheduled meeting minutes for the June 1st council work session as well as June the 2nd council meeting.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Day and a second from Councilmember Florence. All right. Call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council, at this time, I would like to ask, are there any unfinished business at this time for discussion? If not, we will proceed on with the resolutions on the building department. Council, we have a resolution in reference to declaring properties a public nuisance and authorizing and directing the Housing Abatement Board to take necessary action to demolish, remove, and clear all building materials, trash, and debris from properties located at 1305 14th Street and 903 Crawford Road. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phenix City has declared 2 properties located within Phenix City, Alabama to be a public nuisance in accordance with Alabama State Law, Section 11-53A-1. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the Housing Abatement Board is hereby authorized and directed to take the necessary action to demolish, remove, and clear all building materials, trash, and debris from each property and to have the lots cleared at the following locations in Phenix City, Alabama. 1, 1305 14th Street. 2, 1903 Crawford Road. Be it further resolved that the cost of demolition by the City of Phenix City, Alabama shall be assessed against the property taxes. Passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June, 2026.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Council, we've all heard the reading of the master resolution, and at this time, I'd like to ask this council that we take both together at the pleasure of the council, and I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
So moved, Mayor.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Green. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Florence. Comments or discussion?
I got a question on the one on Crawford Road. Ray knows what I'm gonna ask about the roof. He's supposed to be putting back on the building to, does it have to be torn down? What does that stand? Where does that put him?
I'm waiting on him to move forward with that roof. If he moves forward with the roof, then we will hold off on.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. I know that he's hired the roofer, and I was told today, of course, that don't mean he did it today, that the roofer went over and got the permit today to do it. That I do not know for sure, but I know he's hired the roofer. So what do? We need to table this one, or how do you do this?
No, sir.
as you can see, the guy hadn't took care of his business. If they had gotten their permit and gotten the things they're supposed to give to, cause they give them a chance for a
Well,
while.
it's 2 weeks, it's what he was given.
Yeah, but they were given a chance, he should have went straight to Ray, but what we have to
Right.
do is go through the process, and if he has that information, then Ray will come back to me, to come to you all,
Right.
to hold off on it, but the process is in motion already.
Well, I understand that, I mean, but he was given 2 weeks, and I keep thinking back in my mind about the VFW club down on Seal Road that somebody's been given 4 years to possibly tear down. This guy was given 2 weeks. And it just seems to me like there's.
Hold on one second, the
Something
VFW
going
was
on.
protected through the government.
I understand,
We-
but I'm just saying.
It's a big difference, know what we're saying. What Ray is trying to tell you, the process is in place. If the guy
Right.
got his paperwork, like he say,
Right.
if that guy show up there in the morning, he
Right.
don't have to worry about that at all.
Right.
But what we've had is people say things before and not.
Well, I
and not
understand
do what
that.
they're supposed to do.
Right.
But when it coming back to the VFW, that was protected through the
I
government.
know. Well, we had this same situation when the government was helping us pay for stuff to tear down. And we were gonna tear the one down out there next to CVS Pharmacy. And of course, they came to us, asked us not to. We agreed not to. They were gonna put it back in code, which we knew they wasn't gonna do. All of us did. But
Yes,
yet,
sir.
you give everybody the benefit of the doubt, as you should. And of course, wound up right there again, with it. That's all I'm saying is, he had 2 weeks' notice of what he did. He never intended for it to even be noticed that there wasn't a roof on it. And I'm not saying because he was trying to go around anybody, he wasn't. He thought the roofer he had originally hired, that he paid half the money to, that bought the materials, had a license to work in Phenix City. So he felt like he could just, come right on in and fix the roof. Found out he didn't have a license. Not having a license, he's not going to be allowed to put the roof on, and he's not supposed to be able to. And that was where the original difference started.
Can I back up? He's had
Sure.
it for 6 months to put the roof on.
Yes, yes.
Do what now?
He's had it for 6 months to put.
Well, he told me he had 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm just going by
That's
what
part
you're told.
That's part of the
Yeah,
problem,
right.
Mr.
6
Bella.
months.
These people are going
That you
out
got.
telling different
Right.
stories when, now I can tell you,
Right.
if we, and I don't mind admitting this, if we have a deficiency, it's in our department of giving people too
I
much
was gonna say,
time.
we're too lenient.
They give, thank you,
Right.
they give them a lot of time, but when people start doing things that's untrue, and it's just like I've said before on here, when people go to anybody's citizen's house, any of them, to do anything, you gotta make sure that people have licenses, you have to make sure they're bonded.
You're supposed to.
That is the business owner or the residential owner responsibility to make sure that. But like I say, with the patience that they've shown this guy, I'm quite sure he don't appreciate somebody telling a story that's not there, and they try to use the political end of it, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Which
All I
which
know is he told me 2 weeks ago, that this was coming up, that he'd been given 2 weeks. I knew about the roofer, knew the roofer didn't have the license, knew he wasn't gonna use the roof because he didn't, knew that he couldn't. Wasn't trying to go around anybody.
We seen him in notice.
That's what I'm saying, right, you
We
did.
seen him in notice giving him 15 days to get anything off the property that he wanted before we went through the process of it.
But anyhow, I'm just saying that, he's putting the roof on the thing, so, that's why I'm here conversing on what I am. He's in the process of putting it back. He wanted to tear it all down to begin with and put a little strips under that. And of course, wasn't gonna invest that money with the
It
car
wasn't
lot next
zoned,
door.
it wasn't zoned.
Right, by
properly.
buying the car lot down the street, his intention now is just to get the roof on there where the building can be there. Then eventually tear the car lot down and that building and put a strip center in there that's zoned for
Well,
it.
he-
And that's what his plans are down the road.
He's got to understand, he's got to follow through on the things, but when they gave him the paperwork, it was giving him an additional time on top of his time.
Right.
But the key to it is that we have a process. That's got to go through. If he have what he's supposed to have in the morning, then we will take that paperwork and come back through. But if we don't do what we're supposed to do tonight, then that extends it even farther when he don't do what he's supposed to do, like he hadn't done in 6 months.
So,
Well,
so,
I'm gonna take up a little bit for him now. If we, and I know this 6 months, and I disagree with that, I wasn't here to vote on that, and it's kind of getting off track. But 6 months is a short period of time. When somebody passes away, there could be a will or something, families are arguing to get a business turned over in somebody else's name.
was that part of this case here?
Well, yes and no. What I'm getting at, he's trying to put a car lot down the street, and if we were to just keep taking things back to somebody, we could delay it 6 months. The city could, I could, anybody could if it was me at my car lot doing the same thing. I could delay something where you run out of the time fraction. All I'm saying is, it's hard to get everybody sometime together on the same page when and it's not because it's our building department, it's not that, it's not the fire department, it's not so much him as the owner. If somebody's having to get an outside entity to come in to look at something, to do something to where it can be presented, say to Ray there, and they take 2 or 3 weeks to do their end, and that's the only choice you have is to use that person. That's where a fourth person comes in that doesn't have any skin in the game. And that's why I'm thinking it's just, you have to be somewhat lenient.
But was he communicating that to you?
No, they're doing right.
Was he ever communicated anything to you from that standpoint that he?
It was back in February when I saw him.
But I guess to make a long story short, from the way I see it, if he does bring the appropriate things to you,
Yes.
this process has to go through, then we will start the process of not following through. Because he's done everything that he's
Yes.
supposed to, am I right?
Yes,
Right. So he has still more time, but he's got to make sure that he get the appropriate request.
Well, that's what he's been
But he
been
hadn't
doing.
at this
But there
point, though.
again, I'm not in on the meetings, it's not me, it's not in exact notice of everything, but I know kind of some time frames. But what I'm saying is, he's told to get these things and well, so I'm not gonna mention the name.
Yeah.
But certain businesses here in town, sometimes they slow play you, they don't get the stuff back to you in a timely fashion, even though the city requires it. He knows the city is gonna require it. He expects them to require it. And trying to get all that back together. And somebody else slow plays him, but yet it runs in on the time frame of him trying to get it done in a certain length of time that, the council said that you have to do to keep a business in an area that it's not zoned for. And that's what the whole thing kind of boils down
Yeah.
to. If I'm kind of thinking right, that the car lots are not zoned right there, so you gotta get them done in a certain length of time. If it was a church still there and the church was gonna be there, you wouldn't worry about it because it would be fine. But it's a business that's not local, not zoned for that area.
No, not
come
if
back
it's
in, is what I'm
exactly,
saying.
and that was part of the problem.
Right.
As
It's not
opposed
only
to,
something different than what it is currently.
yeah.
Well, it never has been zoned safe. I mean, it may have at one time, but with our
Recent.
Within
with our,
yeah.
with our plan that we have, all the downtown is zoned for different things as a city seat. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the future of Phenix City. There's nothing wrong with that. I want
And
Phoenix
that's
City
why
to grow
he
that
could-
way too. Right.
Yeah.
If you
But-
don't follow through with what he's doing,
That's the
we
key.
open up a can of worms, and it's wrong for the people who have been through it before. If the guy we have no problem if this guy is not telling the story,
Right.
and he's telling
If
the
he
truth,
gets
if
all
he's
that.
got what he's supposed to have in the morning. But the process is got to go through because so many other people had to go through. the
Oh,
process.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
So he still has some time, but the burden is on him.
If he's got.
But if you've been working on something 6 months and you've been meeting what they request you to get, then, I don't see a 6 month period of time. I see that you're working on what you're asking to have, so therefore, you should have the time to get it together that it takes. If I had to get something from the federal government and call Washington, and there again, and they tell me it'd be 6 weeks before I can get it, I can't control that.
Yeah, but
That's
but
the
key,
part
but
I
you,
make.
but you would need to communicate with him.
Well, that is part of the problem. He's been calling the place over in Columbus, trying to get them over here to do this, and they won't come over to do it. They keep telling me they don't have the manpower to do it and all of that. And that's where some of his problem is, but it's required for us to have that, and Ray is correct on asking for that stuff, and
He's
the
got to
fire
follow
marshal's
that
correct.
process.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with them wanting what he's got to show to be done. I'm not arguing that point, I'm just arguing on the 6 months time frame is just wrong. Period.
Oh,
That's
I-
it, that's all I'm gonna say.
And
That's a
that's,
whole different.
I know.
I want to ask this question right here to Ray. Are we following this process that we have in place? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, we are. I'll agree with that. We are.
but at the end of the
But
day,
you know,
if he
we-
get all of his stuff.
The other thing on the zoning regulations, and looking at the different time periods and stuff that we went through, we just paid nearly $300,000 to have all these things reworked. you see, and that was voted on. So they have to have a guide to go by and the policy. All that was put in place a while back. So that's all they do, whether it's fire department, in the inspection department, whatever. They go out and make sure people understand this and see what's going on. And a lot of things are changing. And part of that change comes from, we have people come in and do the studies and say they want to change the city around. So none of us are always going to 100% agree on what's supposed to be what, but I can tell you, you'll take this particular situation and you'll take another one where if those people are having that type of trouble, they will stay at that office telling them and letting them know, because that's how they keep up with the time and tell them, look, this is what occurred, what happens.
I'm not disagreeing with anything that's been said other than I disagree, and I wasn't at the meeting that was voted on. It wouldn't have mattered. It might have been 4-1, could have been 3-2, or whatever. I disagree with a 6-month period of time that somebody has to get something done from one thing to another. If I passed away tomorrow, for us to keep that car lot down there, my family would have to get everything put in my son's name within 6 months. If they couldn't do it in 6 months, the car lot ceased to exist since 1972.
Yes, but Steve, but
I
do think they will be, I do
We
think,
have those problems.
That's a
I think
different.
they
And I
will.
think this problem is a little bit bigger than what we're talking about, because it leads to something else that me and you talked about earlier that we're gonna talk about tomorrow, because this is gonna involve the fire department.
That's right.
This, and their fire marshal and inspector. and
Well, I'm
that,
not saying the
which is a
city would
different-
hold me up.
Which is a different.
My family could, the heirs of my family could argue and say I should have left it to 2 boys rather than 1 boy, and they get lawyers and they tie it up for 6 months. After that 6 months, it's over. And it's not the city's, I'm not blaming the
I
city.
respectfully disagree with you on that. I do believe, I do believe if that was the case and they are faithfully communicating and done
Well,
that.
that's my point.
But
No,
that's
the
the
key
point.
to it is this, no. The key to
I don't think
this,
they-
that car lot, if you die tomorrow, that car lot is already in operation. It never shut down to go through a period of lost time that it had to be transferred to something else because of the zoning. You have nothing to
No,
worry
I
about.
mean, I agree with you on that, but just say my 2 sons went to arguing and one of them gets an injunction where they can't open the car lot because he don't want his brother doing it. That's not gonna happen, but if it did, that's why I'm saying 6
Mayor, I
months.
So
think we
we-
need to
we-
stick with the
we-
item.
we-
But I know what you're saying.
We had a situation.
Mayor,
I
think we need to
understand what
stick
you're
with the item
saying.
at hand.
But you're right.
Well, no, where we had a situation there, if me and you don't have our business straight, we better leave here tonight and go get it straight while you're bringing that up.
There you go, that's right.
You know?
So, yes, right, go.
But let me say this,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if the communication is properly done, showing the effort, I don't think it would have been to this point.
Well, that's
And so-
and I'm
and
saying that
that's-
too. And I couldn't tell you what his
that's the
effort has
thing.
been.
How long?
Because I haven't been in there with you.
This is the situation. Okay, go ahead.
It's been going on since about February or so.
Yeah.
Maybe January.
This has been going on since last year.
It's been going on longer than that.
Well, he bought it, I think, like end of the year. Right.
This is part of the problem. You know,
Now, you're talking about a different situation. We're talking about 2 different locations now, but
yeah.
Well,
you're-
yeah, I'm talking
you're
about,
different locations.
yeah, I'm talking about the car lot, but that
I'm
down
talking
there's
about
been
this.
going on, yeah.
1903
Yeah.
Crawford Road.
Right, that's it.
It's been going on over a year.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
And this is what's saying, I think, well, in fact, I think I know. Like you say, you've been in business since you was a kid down there, since, like you say, 1964. You're a leader in that business around here. I'm just gonna tell you, say it here. Some of these guys, Mr. Bailey, that you're trying to help, they don't tell the whole truth.
Well, I understand.
And see, that's part of the problem, and I know you want to help them because it's your profession, it's a profession. And trying to help them, but they have got to be straight and fair with these inspectors, and like I'm saying, because they bend over backwards to help people, but when the time comes, it gets them in trouble with the next person and the other people that they're going.
Well, it's hard to tell one person they've got to do something and then allow somebody else to not to have to do it. That's not right. That's what we talk about all the time, transparency, being fair and consistent.
And that's
So I mean, I'm not, Ray and them do their job well. I have no complaints, and I've told Sue L that it's not anything there on any of that part of it, that he's not being asked to do anything that anybody else wouldn't have been told to do. Right. So I'm not disagreeing with any of that. There's been no disagreement with it. I don't want anybody in here to think that, because no, it's not.
But I do think if communication hadn't been properly done and effectively done, showing that
Yeah, that's,
the effort, then I don't think we would be here.
yeah, that's the point
And
I was
obviously,
just
he
trying to
has
say,
done that.
as long as it,
Yeah.
as long as it's moving forward,
So-
it should move forward. But
Yeah.
yet, I can't tell you that he's moved forward with everything. I haven't been on the meetings, it's not for me to be in the meetings. It's not, you know, I'm not supposed to be there. So y'all, by any means, I don't want anybody.
So
to think
he
that
still
you-
have an opportunity, he has an opportunity, but the burden is in his hand.
Yeah,
But
So, yeah.
we gotta have things in place too.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And we gotta
He
be
has an
consistent.
opportunity,
We gotta have things in place.
and the burden is on him. Okay, any other discussion before I call for the vote?
that was enough, I think.
But hey, listen, that's good. Listen, you know, like I've always said,
Only thing I got to say about that, Mayor, we got to be consistent.
but I will say this, and you all heard me say this before. In order for us up here to continue to get better and be who we are, we have to push each other. But you do it in a respectful way, as we've done at this time. So we gotta push each other. We're not gonna always agree, but I can promise you we ain't gonna flip each other. And we're gonna still love each other. But pushing each other is always good, because that lets us all know that we got the city at the best interest. So with that, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council on the building department is a resolution in reference to accepting a quote from J&J Land Development Incorporation for the demolition of structure located at 1002 280 bypass in an amount not to exceed $14,500. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phenix City owns property located at 1002 280 bypass. And whereas the city desires to remove the existing structure on the property. And whereas J&J Landfill Development Inc. submitted a quote in the amount of $14,500 for the demolition of the structure located at 1002 280 bypass. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the quote from J&J Land Development Inc. for the demolition of the structure located at 1002 280 bypass in an amount not to exceed $14,500. Passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June 2026.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the reading of the resolution.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Councilmember Florence. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Davis. Comments or discussion?
Yes, I'd like to ask Mr. Hunter, that old service station, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do we have a plan for that area? That's prime property there.
That's correct. That's why we got, that's why I'm cleaning it out.
We do have a plan for it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis. Any other comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council on the engineering department is a resolution in reference to accepting a bid E2604 aggregates from Columbus Quarry. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phenix City has solicited sealed bids for the bid E26-04 aggregates. And whereas Columbus Quarry submitted the only bid meeting the specifications. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama accepts the bid from the Columbus Quarry. Passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June 2026.
Thank you again. The man ain't dancing back there. Thought I heard a foot stomp.
I told you to play that first back show while ago, somebody did it.
I didn't hear the foot stomping there. Council, Council, we've all heard the resolution from our clerk. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilmember Green, second, Councilman Day. Comments, questions, or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day? Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes. Like make some of them have flashback, get the stone in their feet in here. Continuing on, council on the Engineering and Public Works Department, there's a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor and city manager to engage CJ Contracting LLC to construct 2 pole barns at a landfill expansion site in an amount not to exceed $58,600. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city has a large number of vehicles and equipment, some of which are not used on a daily basis and are exposed to the elements. And whereas the Public Works Department would like to have 2 pole barns constructed at the landfill expansion site to remedy the situation. And whereas 3 quotes were obtained for the construction of the pole barns, with CJ Contracting LLC providing the lowest one at a cost of $29,300 per barn, or $58,600 for 2. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama hereby authorizes the mayor and city manager to engage CJ Contracting LLC to construct 2 pole barns at the above referenced site in an amount not to exceed $58,600, passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June, 2026.
Okay. Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, may I ask the council for a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Councilmember Florence. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. My right ear is closer to him than my left ear is to you, so. We have the motion, we have the second. Any comments, questions, or discussion?
Mayor, I have a question. The pole barn, what type of warranty will exist with this new construction here?
Sorry, I have to go back and get that information. I'm sorry, I didn't get that today. For Mike Patillo, he's the one that we've been working with him, so I'll go back and get that information for you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
I
you.
have a question for you, Ms. Moore. I know we got different equipment. Is that gonna be your heavy trucks or heavy tractor going down there, a certain type of equipment?
Yes, sir. We'll have space to put all kinds of equipment down there. Some equipment we don't use daily, so we would keep that equipment down there because it's such a far drive to bring it back to the yard. But it will be trucks, heavy equipment, all kinds of stuff.
Stuff that you don't use daily?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And since you're there, just for clarification, this is in a fenced-in, secure area?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Moore. Any other comments, questions, discussion? Okay, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council, on the next, on the fire department, is a resolution in reference to accepting the price of $10,420.41 from North America Fire Equipment Incorporation for the Sunset Gold G24 gas detector. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas Phoenix City Fire Rescue has solicited pricing in order to replace the gas detectors for the fire department. And whereas the lowest price for the equipment meeting the required specifications for Sunset Gold G24 gas detectors is from North America Fire Equipment, Inc. And whereas North American Fire Equipment, Inc. has submitted pricing in an amount not to exceed $10,420.41. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby accept the price of $10,420.41 from North American Fire Equipment, Inc. for the Sunset Gold G24 gas detectors, provided it meets the required specifications. Passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June, 2026.
Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman
Second.
Day and a second from Councilmember Green. Comments or discussion?
That was Florence.
I'm sorry, Florence.
Mayor, can we get somebody to elaborate for the citizen of Phoenix City on that?
Chief?
Yes, sir, Mr. Day, and council. We have gas detectors in the fire department. We currently are using 3 gas detectors, and this will be adding an additional gas that we can detect, hydrogen sulfide. So the gas detectors that we currently have are 2012 models, and we had money budgeted to replace them, and we'd like to go ahead and replace them at this time.
And plus, she's there for safety too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just
So-
want our citizens to understand that.
Oh, yeah. So one thing that we use them for, Mr. Day, is when we have a structure fire, before we can remove our air packs, we have to use these gas detectors to detect the gases that are still available in the structure. And if it's above 50 parts per million, they cannot remove their air pack, they have to stay on there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
I'll sit right here.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Thanks, folks.
that's being smart. Any other comments or discussion before I call for the vote, council? If there's none, others? Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, council on the fire department is a resolution in reference to 2026 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 pickup truck shall be purchased under state contract T191, contract number MA220000003126, excuse me, 3128, that's a dash 13, with standard option adding a spray-in bed liner and deep well toolbox for a total amount of $45,294 from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas, under the Alabama bid law for public contracts, municipalities can purchase property under a state bid, provided that the state bid so provides. And whereas the city desires to purchase the property hereinafter described on said state bid for the fire department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that 2026 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 pickup truck shall be purchased under state contract T191, contract number MA220000003128-13, with standard options, adding a spray-in bed liner and a deep well toolbox, and a total amount of $45,294 from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama, passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June, 2026.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Davis, council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilmember Green, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Comments or discussion?
I just want to make just a comment that our fire department, all of our department heads do an excellent job. Just like our fire department, just like Parks and Rec and all, they do a real good job of having things budgeted, but they actually come in under budget. Most people don't think about that, but every time you come in under budget, it means you've saved some money that can be spent on something else that you might need that hadn't been budgeted for. So that's hats off to y'all to do that. And all of our departments try to do it. It's just, seem like these get more often because their needs are the greatest. And I just want to tell you, thank you for doing that.
And at the risk of being redundant, I concur with Councilmember Bell said that, as I said on yesterday, and I told someone this today, you know, such a fantastic job in budgeting these items, and let's take planning.
Thank you all. With that being said, at this time, council would like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council on the fire department. It's a resolution in reference to declaring 2006 Ford F-250 pickup truck, VIN number 1FT SX20P66EB81890, as surplus to be sold to the highest bidder at public auction or sold as scrap. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the fire department of the City of Phenix City has several items which are no longer needed for public or municipal purposes. And whereas Section 11-43-56 of the Alabama Code of 1975, as amended, authorizes the municipal governing body to dispose of unneeded personal property. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the described property listed below is hereby declared surplus to be sold to the highest bidder at a public auction or sold as scrap. 2006 Ford F-250 pickup truck, VIN number 1FTSX20P66EB81890, 81890. Passed, approved, and adopted this 16th day of June, 2026.
Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. It's time to have a motion from the council.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilmember Florence, and that's second, Councilmember Day. Okay. Comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Green,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Florence,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council, on the Parks and Recreation Department. Council, on the Parks and Recreation Department, we have a resolution in reference to purchasing one 2026 Ford F-550 regular cab, 4x4 chassis cab, model F5H, white in color with a 9-foot Marauder dump body under state contract T191, contract number MA 23000000 3416-39 with optional equipment from Stivers Ford in Montgomery, Alabama, in an amount not to exceed $69,408. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas under the Alabama bid law for public contracts, municipalities can purchase property under a state bid provided that the state bid provides. And whereas the city of Phenix City desires to purchase the property hereinafter described on said state bid for the Parks and Recreation Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the item listed below be purchased under state contract T191, contract number MA 23000003416-39, with optional equipment from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama, and an amount not to exceed $69,408. 2026 Ford F-550 regular cab, 4x4 chassis, CAB model, the F-5H, white in color with 9-foot Marauder dump body. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June 2026.
Okay. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Comments or discussion? Okay, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Green,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Florence,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, council, is a resolution in reference to purchasing one 2026 Ford Maverick LX Crew Cab under state contract T191, contract number 22000003128-6 with optional equipment from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama, and an amount not to exceed $28,261. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas under the Alabama bid law for public contracts, municipalities can purchase property under a state bid provided that the state bid provides. And whereas the city of Phenix City desires to purchase the property hereinafter described on said state bid for the Parks and Recreation Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the item listed below be purchased under state contract T191, contract number 22000003128-6 with optional equipment from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama, and an amount not to exceed $28,261. 2026 Ford Maverick XL Crew Cab. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June 2026.
Thank you again, Mrs. Davis, for reading the resolution. And council, we've all heard the resolution. I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion from Councilmember Green. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Green,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Florence,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, council on the Parks and Recreation Department is a resolution in reference to purchasing one 8-foot by 4-foot video display board, scoreboard, and 2-foot tall ID panel from Electrobench Scoreboard Company in an amount not to exceed $24,450. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Phenix City desires to purchase an 8-foot by 4-foot video display board, scoreboard, and 2-foot tall ID panel for the Miracle Field Park project. And whereas Electromech Scoreboard Company has provided the lowest quote for these items in an amount not to exceed $24,450. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize the purchase of the 8-foot by 4-foot video display board, scoreboard, and 2-foot tall ID panel from Electromech Scoreboard Company in an amount not to exceed $24,450. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June, 2026.
Thank you so much for the reading of the resolution, council, which we've heard from our clerk. This time I'd like to ask this council for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion from Councilmember Florence and a second, Councilmember Bay. Comments or discussion?
I have a question. I understand the dimensions of the actual scoreboard, but in reference to its proximity or its placement in the park, will it be allowable or so that, I'm understanding the concept of Miracle Field. So I just want to make sure that it's in proximity so that everyone of all disabilities or abilities will be able, it will be set in a place where it can be seen by all. Does that make sense?
It'll be just like any normal baseball field. It'll be set in the left center field corner.
Okay,
The sponsor panel will sit on top, and it'll have probably 3 Phoenix City Miracle League.
okay,
And then the next will be the video board, which we can show graphics, kids' pictures, tell them great job, whatever, commercials, and then just learn how to be a scoreboard that you see most any other youth baseball field.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just
Well-
curious about the proximity.
For sure. I thought when when you purchase that board and get it installed, you won't have a contract where anything go wrong when they come out there and take care of it.
Yes, sir. Well, that's why through Electromesh, they're out of Wrightsville, Georgia. That's why we use them a lot of times, because they're within a day.
Close.
They drive to give us parts or something, whereas you deal with other companies and they're in New York.
Yeah.
Does it have accommodations for sensories or students that are children or adults that have sensory? Yeah, ADA compliance?
As far as the video board, I would assume it would meet those ADA restrictions.
Thank you, Todd. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Todd. Not, this time I'd like to call for the vote. Ms. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on council also, on the Parks and Recreation Department is a resolution in reference to purchasing one 52-inch mower with power unit and deck, trash bucket, and string trimmer mount kit on the contract number 20468-22-6640 from Omnia Partners in Mount Ridge, Kansas, in an amount not to exceed $11,361.75. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the State of Alabama Examiners of Public Accounts has reviewed and approved the competitive bidding process used by Omnia Partners, formerly U.S. Communities. And whereas the City of Phenix City desires to purchase the property hereinafter described by Omnia Partners for the Parks and Recreation Maintenance Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the item listed below be purchased under contract number 20468-22-6640 from Omnia Partners in Moundridge, Kansas, in an amount not to exceed $11,361.75. 52-inch mower with power unit and deck, trash bucket, and string trimmer mount kit. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June 2026.
Okay. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, may I have a motion from the council?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Green. Okay. Comments or discussion, council? If not, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, council, again, on the Parks and Recreation Department, there's a resolution in reference to purchasing one True Finish 1210 utility rate item number 4320TC on the contract number 112624-DAC from Beard Equipment Company in Mobile, Alabama, in an amount not not to exceed $22,803.88. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the State of Alabama Examiners of Public Accounts has reviewed and approved the competitive bidding process used by Sourcewell. Whereas the City of Phoenix City desires to purchase the property hereinafter described by Sourcewell for the Parks and Recreation Maintenance Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, that the item listed below be purchased under contract number 112624-DAC from Beer Equipment Company in Mobile, Alabama, in an amount not to exceed $22,803.88. True Finish 1210 Utility Rate Item Number 4320TC. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June, 2026.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis, for the reading of that resolution. And council, we've all heard it, and at this time, I'd like to ask this council for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Florence. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Bailey. Comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, council, on the Utilities Department is a resolution in reference to declaring the cleaning of said aeration basis an emergency and authorizing and directing the mayor and city manager to pay all pro septic for cleaning services in an amount not to exceed $17,500. Mrs. Davis?
Whereas the City of Phoenix City operates a wastewater treatment plant which has aeration basins. And whereas the city previously authorized the purchase and installation of aeration basin equipment through resolutions 2025-283 and 2026-30. And whereas during preparation for said installation, significant amounts of grit were found in the aeration basins which could damage the new cleanout pump and delay the project schedule. And whereas said aeration basins needed to be cleaned prior to K machine arriving on June 8, 2026 to replace the aeration basin equipment. And whereas emergency cleaning services were required to protect city assets and complete the work. And whereas All Pro Septic was contracted and assisted city personnel in cleaning 3 aeration basins at a cost of $17,500. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby declare the cleaning of said aeration basins an emergency and authorizes and directs the mayor and city manager to pay All Pro Septic for said services in an amount not to exceed $17,500. Passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of June, 2026.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Council, we've also heard that resolution, and at this time, I'd like to ask this council for a motion, please.
Motion
Have a
to approve.
Motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second?
So moved.
Second, is that a second? From
Second.
Councilman Green. Comments or discussion? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Green?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Florence?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, council, so much for what you do. Can't thank you all enough. We appreciate everyone being here. Ms. White, before you leave, I do have some copies of your proclamation that you can pass out to some of your family members. We certainly appreciate you staying the entire time. Thank you so much for that. Again, council, we want to thank you all, thank our department heads, and thank everyone. Again, we like to move our council meeting to 6 o'clock at the end of each quarter. So we completed the one here. The next one will be done in September at District 3.
District 3, Drift Street South.
So with that said, council member, before we leave, and before I ask the city manager, is there anything that needs to be said? I appreciate it.
Mayor, may I offer another thanks publicly to the Phoenix City Beautification Committee. They was present at the 5 o'clock meeting that I held with the constituents here at the Central Activity Center. And I just want to tell them thank you for the great work that they continue to do. This nonprofit organization, think it not robbery to give up their time and their talent to go out and partner with individuals, faith-based communities, and individuals as a whole, and keep our city clean and safe. And so again, I just, once again, just couldn't thank them enough for the great work that they continue to do in our city, to make sure it's a viable place to live and worship and attend school and play. And so it's not going unnoticed. And now the volunteer efforts that we put in, we can ride these streets and see how our landscaping is changing for the betterment of every citizen here in Phenix City. So we thank them for the great work that they have done.
And thank you. And that's a great segue, what I said earlier. Even with that, we have to push each other as far as making sure our community and city is clean. Just like we have to push each other to make sure that we're pushing this city for the right reason to be the best that it can be. So it all starts with us, not just with this council, but it starts with this community. We all live here. We all take pride in keeping each of us accountable, because if we don't do that, then we are not going to be able to become the city or the vision that we have for the city to get to where we need to get. But it all boils down to we have to care, sincerely care. So with that said,
Can I say one thing?
Yes,
real
sir.
quick? I want everybody to understand, I was not upset at any particular person. I was
It's not taking that
I know,
way.
but I want the people that might see this on the news or anything else to understand that our personnel at our city,
yes,
or I'll match them up against any city, anywhere, at any time, following rules and regulations, being consistent, making everybody dot the i's and cross the t's. Have no issue with that. My issue that I had realistically and still will until I've proven different is a time limit being given to somebody when it looks like everybody's trying to get on the same page. And there again, if you're an outside person like myself, you get information second, third, fourth, or fifth hand sometimes, and sometimes it's truthful, and sometimes it's not. But anybody that tells you something, you try to give them the benefit of the doubt, like the mayor says, and believe everything that they tell you. But I want everybody to realize that our personnel is excellent. Ray with the building department is good, our fire department, no problem. Anybody, even Sean. Even Sean does a good job.
Give me a little credit.
But Sean does a good job. Blind hog finds an acre every now and then, and that's Sean. But I love him to death, and he knows it. I wouldn't tell him if it did, wouldn't pick at him if it didn't. But I just want everybody to understand, I wasn't mad. It was nothing
and it
personal.
wasn't taken that way.
It was just strictly one of the people that I know in business had asked me a question to ask tonight and answer tonight. And for the most part, I got the answers that I was expecting and looking for. So I didn't get surprised. Like the mayor says, nobody clipped me. Nobody tackled me from behind and hit me on the blind side. So just want everybody to understand that, because I don't want people talking about, we don't get along and all that. We do.
Yes.
But we are going to differ sometimes.
That's
Thank you, Mayor.
We have to push each other.
Mayor, I'd just like to say this again, at the risk of being redundant here, as I look at all those resolutions, Mr. Hunter, and when I look at it, seeing these items of budget that take planning, it's a good job. My hats off to you and the department head. Thank you for that.
But it also takes money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said a key word, you said a key word earlier, Mr. Day, and we're in that process now, as the dates went out, we're in the budget period right now. And this is we're finishing up our third quarter of the year, and you're ready to go into the fourth quarter, and a lot of times the department heads take into account to make sure they look at the end and purchase these things through their budget to make sure we're okay, because it's all about the city being okay, through in and out, to make sure we got that. But like I say, I enjoy being here sometimes, but those department heads, like you say, our credibility means the world, and documentation of having that. And like I say, but when you all are taking care of your constituents, that's what you're supposed to do. We have to understand on this side also. There's two sides to the story. What if I have somebody on this side that's not telling the truth? And that's why it's so important for us to keep up with our dates and times and understand that. Or somebody making a mistake. People make mistakes every day. But it's everything I enjoy. This working. We're working for the city and these citizens, and that's the way it's got to be.
And we care.
We looked up there, talking up there. The address they had on Park Avenue. The mean anything to you? Went there a long time, didn't you? Yeah. It was that with bowling alley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
I remember that.
A lot of years, you know, I was in Kmart business during that time, you know. A lot of people love it, and like I say, that right there, when you look at this, Ms. White, you're looking at a person that's been a pillar of the community.
Been consistent too.
And I would like to say, we've always appreciated that, you know.
Again, thank this council. And as I get ready to shut up, let's all continue to care for this community. And the ones that we know are not caring, we're gonna take the high road and push them. And if they don't get there, they're gonna get left behind. So thank you all so much. And with that said, we'd like to thank CTV Bean for bringing this and all the department head and this council. We do stand adjourned. Thank you so much.